Today, we go inside the new Broadway play based exclusively on the West Virginia Gonzaga final possession. Oh, I should tell you, it's a one-man show.
Speaking of one-man shows, UCLA, you could have used your one-man show, Lonzo Ball, tonight. But it's okay. It's time to wake up, college basketball.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Wake Up College Basketball presented by 4 Points Travel. Reinvented. He's got his signature pose. It's slow, and it comes in and out. Kentucky just keeps on winning.
John Wall, boy, that John Wall.
So Tyler Tynes is going to keep doing that. My name is Dan Rubenstein.
Kentucky keep winning.
Kentucky keeps winning. He keeps doing, he's the statue.
Hit the John Wall.
Okay, so at the top I mentioned the West Virginia final play.
You did.
Not a great look. I don't know how much we want to talk about that game because that was sort of a mess. It was not good basketball.
It was a mess. Javon Carter, it was just, for as great of a guard that he is,
yeah,
that was the worst way you could end a game, West Virginia. Shout out to y'all, though. I feel bad for Huggy Bear.
Yeah, not the greatest of looks, but Gonzaga moves on. We now have, officially, a complete Elite Eight. So what is that, 60 teams have now been eliminated.
Something like that.
And we've got somewhere between, and I know you have thoughts, 3, 4, 2, 5 teams that would classify as buzzsaws. What is a buzzsaw? I'm not sure. I'm making this up as I go along. A buzzsaw to me, and you can tell me what you think it is a team that, they just went on a 17-1 run and this game is over and there's still 19 minutes left. And so there are not a huge number of teams that are doing that at this point. So let's put up the 5 teams that seem like they qualify as buzzsaws. We've got Kansas, North Carolina, Kentucky, South Carolina after their Sweet 16 performance, and Xavier. How many of those teams do you truly believe have buzzsaw capabilities against Elite Eight teams?
I think it's 3, and the 2 really stick out like immediately, right? So it's Kansas, and it's also UNC. Kansas with the dynamic guard play on top of Josh Jackson being a killer from the wing position.
Ridiculous.
On top of the other side of it, you have Justin Jackson, Joel Berry, and such a complete team with that UNC team. These teams can go on runs whenever they feel like it, and they're the best offenses left in this Elite Eight. But don't sleep on South Carolina's and Darius Thornwell, PJ Dozier, Chris Silva, who can put together these performances overnight after getting rid of old Ted Cruz face himself, Grayson Allen. They've been on a run that it seems like they just can't miss. Blew out Baylor, blew 65 points in the second half against Duke. Do not count on a buzzsaw like South Carolina.
You're absolutely correct. Let's go back to Kansas for a moment. As soon as Purdue started saying, maybe we can run with them, I was like, no, don't do that. No, Purdue, know who you are. You're not going to be able to run with Kansas. And that's when I realized it was not going to end well for the Boilermakers.
Well, went out for young Swanigan.
And at the same time, did you see the picture of him when he was 13? When he weighed like 370 pounds? Unbelievable story. But on that same token, North Carolina against Butler, what North Carolina can do on the glass, I think that's sort of underrated. We know that they have NBA players, we know they've got shooters, we know they have athletes, but what they're able to do as a rebounding team makes them so dangerous that even if they're cold, they give themselves opportunities to score.
And not even just a rebounding team, an offensive rebounding team. One of America's best offensive rebounding teams all season, and easily the best offensive rebounding team right now left in the tournament. There have been many possessions where we see so many different front court players, Kennedy Meeks on top of others, Isaiah Hicks, grab those boards, dish back out. It's a Joel Berry 3, it's a Nate Britt 3, it's a Justin Jackson 3. There's plenty of guys that are going to spread along that wing, waiting for those opportunities, and as people are crashing to the boards, you're going to get your big bodies down there, and they're going to kick back out, and it's going to be an easy 3 at the top of the key. So that's a lot of the way that North Carolina plays outside of their transition game, outside of those 3 balls that have been coming from Joel Berry, and let's hope that ankle's good.
That's disciplined basketball.
They pull those boards down, that's an open look.
It's almost like getting a team to like 3rd and 13 and the quarterback scrambles for 14. You're like, oh, we've got them. Oh, no, they're giving themselves another chance. Oh, we've got them. They're giving themselves another chance. It's tremendously disheartening. South Carolina as a buzzsaw. So South Carolina just this weekend, just late this week, just made their way through Baylor. At one point, the number 1 team in the country. Earlier on in the season, one of the most athletic, one of the most dangerous teams hitting the glass themselves. Jonathan Motley's legitimately a star. What is it about South Carolina that all of a sudden they can pace and sort of take down a really good Baylor team, take down a really good Duke team?
I think we've said this so many different times. This Frank Martin team from South Carolina has been put together 3 years ago to be good right now. Again, PJ Dozier, Chris Silva, Sindarius Stormwell, who's the best player in the SEC. Like these guys are working good together because you've got some senior leadership and some upper class leadership on top of new bodies coming in that are all just good players. They work cohesively. They're a good unit. They'll put the squeeze on you defensively. All contested shots. I think in that Baylor game, Baylor missed 20 shots, all that were contested, made 3 contested shots.
Nothing easy.
They're going to play amazingly great defense and squeeze you man-to-man the entire game, and then they're going to get to the line at will because they're all big body guards.
Sindarius Thornwell, better than Malik Monk? Best SEC player to you?
I mean, I ain't say that. I said that's what they said. You know, I ain't going to count on Young Lepanto, Arkansas.
I'm just saying.
He was the SEC Player of the Year, said somebody who voted him in.
Okay.
But right now, it's either Malik Monk or De'Aaron Fox, who's the best player in the SEC, and that is unquestionable.
Going off. And not just going off against a random Eastern Tech in the first round, going off against UCLA.
And we trusted you, Lonzo. We trusted you, son. Let us down.
We did trust you. What is it about Kentucky that sort of has them just a notch below in the buzzsaw tier?
Only a notch below for the fact that a lot of that depends on Malik Monk, right?
Yeah.
So Malik Monk will give you 47 one night, and then another night he'll go 3 for 21. So the streakiness of Malik Monk is like you love him for that reason, but then you'll hate him if he's going to take these same shots and miss these shots, these elbow jumpers, these pull-up jumpers, these 17-footers in transition. Right. So you love him and you hate him. It's kind of this love-hate thing. But if you can get De'Aaron Fox rolling, in transition, getting to the lane, penetrating right to the rim, weak or strong side, and also get Malik Monk taking the same shots he does, kind of coming off the bounce and off these high screens, you're going to love this Kentucky team, and you're not going to be able to do nothing with them.
Let's stay with love, because this show, if nothing else, is a show about love. It's a show about love. Just in terms of pure appreciation, who is, of the 8 teams left, who would you say is America's team? Who is the team that you say, we should all rally behind this team? It could be a 1 seed, it could be whoever, just because they're the most, what they've done is the most likable, who they are is the most likable.
Depending on what side of America you live in, honestly. But if you're real America, you love South Carolina right now. This is a quote gritty, quote underdog team outside of maybe Xavier, and they have a very, very exciting player. It's hard to root for teams like Xavier because there's no real defined star. Travion blew it this year, but Sindarius Thornwell is a legitimate star. He's playing against legitimate talent, legitimate guards all year, and he's putting up big numbers again and again and again and again and again. So you want to root for South Carolina. You want to root for this pseudo-mobster-looking Frank Martin who's playing in the Garden with these high-level turtlenecks all up on the circulation of the neck. You want to do that, right? But, that's America's team. On the other side, how can't you root for the Cats? How can't you root for Malik and De'Aaron and Bam? How can't you root for Cal and them? You want to know.
Watching Kentucky play is, on one level, you're like, well, they have the best players. But then on the other level, you get to watch the best players play basketball at a super high level. And that is a good thing. That is a wonderful thing. I think I'm going to go South Carolina as well, though. And Xavier is, especially given their story with their injuries over the course of the season, they sort of come into the tournament hobbled. You have the student beating the master and Chris Mack over Sean Miller, over Arizona. And Arizona, you're not going to believe this, but a Sean Miller Arizona team, and I like Sean Miller, they didn't make the Final Four.
Sound like it.
What?
Sound like every year.
Shocking. Shocking. I'd also like to see Gonzaga make the Final Four, but that's...
Jay Wright getting drinks somewhere on some island, so it's probably real lit. Hey, shout out to
Jay Wright broke through. Sean Miller's just hello.
Just knocking on the door.
Guys,
on the door.
Are we? I thought I got the Evite for... No. Sean Miller's still knocking on that door.
That team basketball stuff sounds real good and everything like that, but this is March, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We come to see players play. We come to see dudes like De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, and them. We come to see them turn up. We come to see them turn out, and that's what they're doing. So, that's cool if you want to root for South Carolina, but you're about to watch NBA basketball in a few months. So
this is true.
Just get ready for that.
All right, let's learn briefly a little bit more about America's team. I had the chance to catch up briefly. Real brief with Frank Martin right after the game, and he talked about what it is like to sort of prepare immediately for another huge game after having so much success now in the Sweet 16, and whether they focus on themselves or whether they're just full on scouting the other team. Here's a quick listen.
We always look inward, but right now it's all about preparation based on the opponent, how we work. We don't have time to dwell on our mistakes tonight. We don't. We've been doing this now for 6 months, pretty much 7 days a week, and we are who we are. We understand the mistakes that we've made. That's why we're still playing, because kids embrace and accept coaching, not run away from it. Right now it's about all preparation so we can be as best prepared to play on Sunday. If we had 2 days to prepare, we'd be fixing our press breaker tomorrow. But we don't. We've done good all year against presses. We just got to talk about it and move on.
So we have come this entire show. We started the show talking about one of the most abysmal last-second shots you'll ever see. And we haven't even mentioned Florida's game winner in overtime over Wisconsin. We're saving it. We're saving our dessert for right now. I know. Florida.
I want a young Nigel to pull that off. I'm hurt.
Yeah, it really would have been a dream. I mean, with the huge three in the corner, Wisconsin put it all together, getting the turnover late. But Florida pulls it out. I don't know how. They tried everything they could do to give that game away at the end.
So hard to lose this game.
Yeah.
They just really didn't lose this game, and that's crazy. I mean, that's kind of the thing about this Florida team. I don't know if Florida is good. We don't know if Florida's good.
Defensively, they probably are.
They're probably good at something.
That's
but
a half.
We don't really know.
That's
what Florida's
half of
good at.
basketball.
Something.
Defense is half of basketball. So Florida now gets South Carolina. South Carolina comes in. It seems like with a lot more momentum, Florida could be in a position for a letdown after really just having a good. No, I should take that back. The chase down block was pretty great.
I'll say this. If Florida can find a way to stop Casey from shooting the ball, on top of getting Kevon Allen to shoot the ball more and give the ball more to Chioza, they'll actually probably be fine.
Right.
But stop letting Casey Hill shoot. Like, he goes 2 for 9 every game. He's taking a lot of the offense out. He's stagnating this offense. That's not necessarily a great offense to begin with.
Right.
So Kevon Allen showed out tonight.
Yes.
32, 34 points. Give that boy the ball. Give that boy the ball and get out his way.
Yeah, and when you have somebody scoring so prolifically, it opens up things for everybody else.
Absolutely.
So Florida should be able to get easier shots with so much attention on him. And they get South Carolina in the Elite Eight in the Eastern Region Final. And we had a chance to hear from Mike White, Florida's coach, about what they are going to be doing, just in terms of, are they looking at themselves, looking at the problems they had late, or are they looking at South Carolina, a team that they beat a month ago? Here, have a listen.
I haven't studied them. Yeah, I've been more concerned with our upcoming opponents. In reading scores, obviously they're playing as well offensively as they've played all year. What we'll probably do is not look at ourselves. This will probably be the first game all year where we don't. I may not even go back and watch that game and just turn all our attention into trying to defend the Gamecocks and figuring out how we can score against such a.
And you know what, Mike White? You shouldn't go back and watch that game, because y'all almost lost that game about 7 times.
I was going to say,
Ain't nothing to learn.
don't go back and watch. Well, you can learn what not to do. But yeah, just move on. Appreciate the ending of that game.
Happy Bronson Koenig wasn't guarding you. Wasn't guarding Chioza on that last possession.
This is true.
I mean, basically, hey, win's a win. Go ahead there.
Go ahead. Get the chomps in. If there is a buzzsaw potential in this game, who is the buzzsaw?
It's South Carolina again,
Okay.
right? It's just South Carolina. South Carolina is the team you really want to root for right now as we go on to march into this Elite Eight. And they've got the better offense. They've got the better star player. They've just got the better talent. I won't say they have the better coach, but collectively they might have the better team. So if Florida's as good as we've seen Florida be, and they've gone on this magical run, they've gone on this march, we're going to see if Florida can match up with a very good South Carolina team and see if they can go down the floor with them pound for pound for pound for 2 halves, not just for a few minutes, not just for the end of the game.
I've already mentioned the show is about love. It's also about honoring. It's also about, recognizing the love we have and not taking it for granted. And you wanted to say a few words because we've been inundated with LeVar Ball, and you were disappointed with Lonzo Ball. And the UCLA circus, I guess now there are rumors about Steve Alford going to Indiana, but
I guess.
we definitely can't license Boys to Men's End of the Road, but we have come to the end of the road.
Somebody hit that violin.
That violin, okay. So
I'm just hurt. I'm just hurt in my heart. I'm hurt in my heart because Lonzo, you were supposed to pull this out, dog. You supposed to pull this out for the hood, dog. We had this all for you. Cheeto Hills, shout out to Cheeto Hills. LeVar was putting on, he was on Sports Center, he was fighting Stephen A. We did this for you and your family and your pools and the things we couldn't have and everything like that. You were supposed to do this for us with step back jumpers and bad looking jump shots. Oh man, Lonzo, you let us down. You let us all down. What do you go, 4 for 10? You got 39 put up, boy. You got clamped up, boy. You got clamped up. I'm tired of you. You don't deserve it. I see you in the top 3 of the draft, though. Make your money, Playboy.
I don't know if that was honoring, but it was in its own special way honoring. Lonzo, thank you for your year. Thank you.
So hurt.
And sorry, Michigan, Oregon Ducks.
Y'all ain't deserve that either. But this wasn't about y'all today. Y'all ain't deserve that either, though.
There are a number of teams that do deserve good things, though. Who is in your dream Final Four at this point? We've got some good matchups in the Elite Eight.
Dream Final Four, I think I have on the one side of the bracket Xavier, South Carolina.
Okay.
Because I want to see that.
Why Xavier over Gonzaga?
Xavier's over Gonzaga because Chris Mack ain't nothing to mess with. I'm sure. Do we have a clip? I'm pretty sure we said Chris Mack from Xavier is going to be a dope coach because he knows how to game plan with the best of them. He's one of the 10 best coaches still left in this tournament, and Xavier's not a team that I would count out in any measure.
This is true. And then at the top of that, you have South Carolina over Florida.
Right.
You've said the bigger buzzsaw potential. On the other side, we have Kansas, Oregon.
And we have Kansas, Kentucky on that side too, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want just like we wanted to see Kansas, just like we wanted to see Kentucky, UCLA.
Right.
We want to see this superpower game. We want to see this high velocity matchup. Josh Jackson, Malik Monk, star wing players, great guards again with Frank Mason and De'Aaron Fox. So let's get another dream matchup. Let's get another dream matchup.
Why Kentucky over North Carolina as a dream?
Because
De'Aaron Fox potential?
Because them cats is gonna win this championship. That's why. Because them cats is gonna win this championship. Don't count out the cats.
Wow, I like that. So the star power.
It's the star power.
Okay.
You gonna bet against Cal?
No, not particularly.
Right,
No,
right.
not unless you have a ton of NBA players. Like I mean, North Carolina sort of does, but
I mean, UCLA has some of that, and
that's true. Fair enough.
That ain't go too good, bro.
So you sort of skipped over, Kansas, Oregon. I understand why. It's sort of obvious I would not bet any dollars, American currency, on the Oregon Ducks. But I've never led a prayer. And as an Oregon Ducks fan, I think I need something. So we need Josh Jackson to maybe come down with something that it's a 24-hour bug. He'll be fine in a day. We need Bill Self to have a scalp issue. We need, what does Oregon need? What are the prayers that I need to sort of look up at the sky for?
Maybe some beads or something. I can't help you.
I didn't even mention Frank Mason. Even without them, Frank Mason's still there. It's not looking good for Oregon.
Y'all hear all this hate?
Please.
Y'all hear all this hate?
Please, if anybody's listening.
Ain't nobody listening, but y'all hear all this hate? Ain't gonna happen.
Hit a shot, Dylan Brooks.
Ain't gonna happen.
Please.
Ain't gonna happen.
All right, fair enough. And
you said your little prayer. All right.
We've talked about buzzsaws. We've prayed. We've said goodbye to Lonzo Ball. We've appreciated Florida and their attempt to give away the game and ability to somehow take the game back. If you're a team playing against a buzzsaw team, so if you are, I guess, North Carolina or Kentucky, or you're an Oregon fan right now, or you're a Florida fan right now with the blowout potential with South Carolina, when your team's getting blown out, will you turn it off midway through a second half?
No, you got to take that, beat them down.
You watch it.
You got to accept that pain.
You Clockwork Orange it.
You came this way. You can't shy away from that now. You got to take that pain. You better Google something, put on some Drake passion fruit. I don't know what you got to do, but listen. You better take your L. You better take it. Enjoy that.
Have you thrown a remote?
I've never thrown a remote. I don't have rooting interests.
You don't have rooting, but that's not true.
I don't have rooting interests.
You enjoy all sorts of fun things in college basketball.
I enjoy watching people lose.
What about an Eagles game?
Well, listen, we can't really talk about that now, can we? We can't really.
You see the
really
passion?
talk about that.
You've never thrown a remote watching like an Eagles, Washington, Giants, any of those games?
I've thrown people watching Eagles play football. So we're not gonna get into that.
I am gonna have to figure out a way. I'm gonna be out for the Oregon game, so sometimes when I get really mad, I'll just take a shower and just sit there and just let it stew, let the sadness stew down me.
That seems dramatic.
Yeah, it's a lot. You go for a walk. No, you just accept it. It builds you up.
Listen, as a Philadelphia native and fan of so many trash teams, I have learned to just accept the hateful heart that I have and just deal with it.
Wow.
Listen, you might have to swing on somebody, you might have to push somebody, a little to the side. You do what you gotta do, you keep it pushing.
Okay.
But I've learned to accept L's in my life.
Okay.
Shout out Temple basketball.
And on that note, speaking of taking L's, we have one final little nugget of information. We briefly talked to the voice of Gonzaga basketball, and we now know officially who is taking the biggest L. Is it Kelly Olynyk's hair? Is it Adam Morris's mustache? That has to be the biggest L. Or is it Karnowski's beard? I'm going Morrison. What is your vote there?
Well, as somebody with a great beard myself, I would
yeah.
go for the beard.
Thick and full and lustrous.
My beard is fantastic.
Okay, let's hear what he had to say.
What worries you about this Xavier team? What do you think is going to be the point of pressure for Gonzaga?
Well, it's interesting because, Xavier's that team that comes in that, had a little bit of a struggle, late in the season, but not too late. They had some things they had to fight through and they figured it out. Now they're playing, great. I mean, it was really interesting to watch them against Arizona and to just see, their size and their ability. I mean, Blewett can score the heck out of the basketball. Makura actually was also very good, and they've got decent size, and I think that'll be kind of interesting to see because they look like they can shoot it pretty well. Very competitive. It's going to be a knockdown drag-out. I think it's two programs that pride themselves on on being tough and taking care of the details, and I think it's going to be a whale of a ball game.
I just want you to rank these three things from your opinion, first, second, third. Shemek Karnowski's beard, Kelly Olynyk's hair, and Adam Morrison's mustache.
Number one, I've got to go with the original. I've got to go with Mo's mustache. He started the whole trend. And then Shem, I don't know if you've seen his beard. I mean, he's really got it rolling now. He cleaned it up and had it out in full force. So I'm going to put that a close second. And then Kelly's hair is great. But I think he's going to have to finish in third this time around.
Wow. That's not the order I would have gone with, but that's why you're the expert and I'm not. Tom, I think that's all I've got for you. Thanks again so much for joining us.
And that beautiful
Who was that woman? Who was that lovely lady reporter?
I didn't say all that. But Ryan Nanny, shout out to you, though.
I wasn't expecting his voice, and it's always a surprise when I get to hear it.
It's melodic, actually.
It is. It does have a nice little rhythm and melody to it.
Sounds like Migos.
So what did we learn today? We learned that you like De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk and all things Cats.
Love them.
You love Nigel Hayes, but you're sad that he couldn't get that final W.
Pour one out for you, big dog.
We love you, and your weird free throw shooting. It's all part of the package that we love.
I accept you for who you are, Nigel.
Don't doubt Chris Mack.
Don't you ever.
He will yell at you.
Off the eggs. Don't you ever doubt Chris Mack.
He is.
Gonzaga.
Student becomes the master.
Right at your head.
North Carolina is going to rebound the ball. Whatever happens, they're going to rebound the ball.
Show is.
West Virginia is going to need some time to drop a late game play. They have plenty of time.
Huggy Bear somewhere recruiting. He'll be okay.
He'll be okay. And South Carolina, Frank Martin, defense, Sindarius Thornwell. Somebody said he was the SEC Player of the Year.
Wasn't I?
Who?
Shout out Lepanto, Arkansas. Malik Monk yourself.
Lepanto, Arkansas. The Google trend is spiking.
When you're a winner all your life, they just can't let you consistently win.
That's true.
It's that thing about being a winner all your life.
I've been complaining about that for some time now.
I've never taken an L in my life.
Look at him. Look, come on.
I mean,
absolutely not. All right. With that, thank you very much for watching Wake Up College Basketball. We will see you right before the Final Four. We've got a lot to say. We always do. Tyler has opinions. Tyler has an arm that's slowly moving. Why wouldn't you watch? Thanks again. Wake Up College Basketball is presented by 4 Points Travel Reinvented. We'll see you soon.
See you, America.